members of the fourth estate of the realm, members of the pen profession, those who believe that the pen is mightier than the sword. I welcome you. In your presence, you will have the State Executive Committee, members of the All Progressives Congress, and we are also supported by the chairman of our party in the 23 local government areas. In other words, it's an amalgam of the state office and the chairman of our party in our respective LGs. It is our practice, of course you remember, I will have called you, as usual, it's our practice to call you to address issues as we deem necessary. We will keep playing our role as organized opposition in the state. Whether anybody likes it or not, it is our role to play. A lot of people who may not have the wherewithal, the contacts, to be able to call people out, to speak to you and through you to Nigerian society, we represent them. In other words, I will keep saying that we are the voice of the voiceless in Rivers State. For today's meeting, except for other issues ancillary to it, is the fact that as a party, we just finished our meeting, and it is the resolve of the party, APC Rivers State. When I say the party, please take it that we're talking about the leadership of APC in Rivers State. And at the very approaching points, at our level, I'm here. The deputy chairman of the party is flanked to my left. The secretary of the party is flanked to my immediate right. And you see the women leader and several of us standing. I won't bore you with recognizing or announcing all of this. All these men you see here and women are members of SEC and local government chairman forum. So we're all together in this business. Now we have felt that after our meeting, it was so ferocious, arguments came from left, right, and center. And then it was decided that as a party, we lend our voice to what people have been saying in recent time concerning Rivers State, particularly the issues of the law, who is a member of the assembly and who is not a member of the assembly. We are, in fact, at the end of our meeting, was detailed to tell the press that we are disenchanted with the disrespect to the rule of law by the governor of Rivers State, His Excellency Siminalayi Fubara. We wondered how he picks and chooses when a matter is convenient for him. He will take. He will immediately start implementing. But when there is a clog and that he feels not comfortable, he will refuse to obey. Are we in Banana Republic? It is not about strongman morality. We are talking about the rule of law. I have said this many times, that without the laws, the world will retire back to the state of nature, where the slogan was self-preservation, life was short, brutish, and nasty. Those were the slogans. Those were the cliché, typical of the era where there were no laws. And so if we have an era that is ruled by laws, and a particular person constitutes himself as bigger than the law and refuses to obey the law or does anything that will infract on the law, then we are gone. We are gone. You are just inviting anarchy. You are inviting the people to do what they call self-help. So we will not do that. We will always adopt the civil means, civil approach. And the civil approach is to reach out to the nooks and crannies of this country and individuals of this country to let them know what is going on in Rivers State. I've listened to arguments, some lawmakers from the Rivers State, from Rivers State, yes, who were in the National Assembly. They were in Port Harcourt to visit with the speaker, to visit with the chairman of their party, because we are not members of PDP. And we saw the arguments that raged. I'm told that yesterday or day before yesterday, there was a counter from the other side who support the 3 members assembly. And I wish to be going back and forth. What is the issue? What is the issue? You and I know the issue. Take it from elementary viewpoints. Elementarily, for some of you who attend family meetings, if a matter is brought before the family, and the family takes a decision on the matter, and you feel undone that the decision that the family took, you are not comfortable with the decision, you make appeals. And during the pendency of that appeal, on your own, at your own volition, you go to the man who you have asked, look, I'm not comfortable with what has happened. I'm not comfortable with judgment that was given to me. So you go back to that same person and tell him that you have withdrawn. What stands? What is standing? What is standing is the judgment that was delivered by their family. So there can't be any vehicle. I'm talking about the elementary viewpoints, the elementariness of the issue in point. You all know the matter. You know the matter. From the 22nd of January, 2024, that James Omotosho, J, give a judgment on the issue of Rivers State, on the issue of legitimacy or illegitimacy of assembly. There are 15 reliefs that he granted. And of all the 15 reliefs, the one you hear every day, they say, the one that has to do with presentation or representation of budget, that one has, for a function of time, that it has, it's no longer relevant. It's overtaken by a friend. They tell you that it's academic. I don't understand, please. If you came, then why did you even approach the Supreme Court on the matter? And that judgment was supported by a Court of Appeal judgment. 3. The first one was status quo ante bellum. What is that? Go back to the way the things were before the fight. What was the way that, how did it happen? The 10th Assembly of Rivers State was formally promulgated by the governor of the state, which is his position. He did. So when you hear status quo ante bellum, they say go back to that time before the crisis. Have they done so? No. They went beyond that, and another Court of Appeal said, you don't have a budget. You're running foul. Go and present your budget to the assembly, led by Martins, Chike, Amaewhule, Right Honorable as Speaker. It was clear. It was unambiguous. And even the one they attend, you know, what they do is, like I told you, pick and choose. The one they were even celebrating, that the judgment of this lady in Federal High Court that says that they should not be given allocation. They were celebrating that judgment at the Court of Appeal. The judgment of the Court of Appeal on the matter. The Court of Appeal said, no, we'll give them their money. But you know that you cannot spend without appropriation. They kill that aspect. So in other words, all of these combined together are the positions of the law. I won't speak deeper into the legitimacy or illegitimacy of them because the matter is before the Supreme Court. But again and again and again, these people you see here, particularly at the point that we are serving as caretaker committee of the party, we were the one that were approaching assembly members to join us, join APC. And we have been misinterpreted. It's deliberate. It's not that they don't know. We are misinterpreted to have received them into APC. That's not what happened. My colleagues are here. Some of you, members of the press, were also with us. We had been appointed into the leadership of the party. And we felt the first thing to do was to introduce ourselves to the party and party members. So we organized a reception. We organized a Thanksgiving, and it was open air. To say to our party members, we are now on board. Please support us. Let us share our biases and prejudices together and put all together to make progress, for the party. In that event, we invited individual members of the assembly to join us, and they came. I need anybody to say to me that he saw a letter that I signed or the secretary signed, inviting them as an assembly. No. I signed. I, in fact, visited with them in the respect. I have relationship with them over time. And I said, look, I had this event. Can you come and add some vents to it? And they came. So when I hear some people sometimes when you are reportage, you say that they were received by APC at the Polo Club. Please drop it. That's not correct. Please drop it. Yes, I'm saying that those were the approaches we evolved in our bid to woo them to the party. Because we have seen that the kitchen had become too hot for them in PDP. And I mean, that we didn't have a member from of the assembly from APC. And all of a sudden, luck, providence, gives us the opportunity to have 27. It's something that will give everybody joy. So I was deliberate, I was intentional in reaching out. I was intentional in reaching out to them to come and join us. But they didn't come. And I said to Nigerians, and I want to say again, I want people to help us to send this message, that would have counted this joy, all joy, that we had 27 members who had become from another party to our party. In other words, we should have been holding the sway. I mean, we should have been holding the thoughts at the assembly. We tried to hold them, they refused. And the young men and women, we didn't know that they had their own political gimmick. And the other thing we hear is that, because they saw them on television with Nigeria, with the APC flag, and please, I don't know whether if before you here now, I fly like an American flag and fly. I'm not born of this, and I say I am an American. Even if it were possible outside politics, But in politics, it's impossible. It's impossible because we have this cliche, or rather we have this local things that we say in local parlance. Say all politics is local. Nobody goes to the camp to a political party at the national. If yes, it could be highly placed, national will receive you, but you are directed back to your ward. In fact, the ward will now lead you to the unit so that you are registered as a member of the political party. So, none of them, nobody, all of these months, bring him. He can't be here now. That's not. I'm sorry. Now, what makes a member of a political party is clear. You are registered. For instance, the party had agreed, and in few weeks, we shall go back to the trenches. What I mean the trenches is that we shall go and begin to interface with our supporters at the unit. The party had agreed on what they call the e-registration exercise. And it's well thought of. It's well thought about. Okay? Because the ideological underpinning behind that was, look, we had, or we claim to have XYZ number of members. And then we had an election, only 9 million out of 44. So how are we sure? So the national chairman and the national working committee thought it wise that we should actually know who are members of the All Progressive Conference, which of course will include the registration guidelines and all that, which I am not able to say here because I don't have the powers to do so. Okay, so why are they doing that? Is to be able to ascertain who is the member of a party and who is not a member of the party. In all of these rigmarole, or the gamut of rigmarole on the matter, nobody has told us or have shown a proof that Mr. A, an assembly member A, came within that period, the interregnum period, and registered in their unit as a member. That's what qualifies you. And I have said in local parlance, even in our local district, you can't be a member of the media. Take it now. When you do not have the qualifying grades and you are not enrolled. Me, every day I tell people that I am an associate member. Is it not the word that you associate? But if I come to NUJDC, you will not agree. You say I'm not a member, not Mr. Elder. But I'm an associate member. So please, these are the two reasons we called. One, to still tell Nigerians that the 27 assembly members led by Right Honorable Martin Amaewhule never defected to the All Progressive Congress. They never did. And what you see, or what people flaunt on televisions and social media, they cannot put some plausible arguments to them. The law, again, I'm told, is not about emotions. The law is not about what? Emotions. The law is as strict as it is. Otherwise, if you begin to bring emotions into law, then there will be no law anymore. It means that if your father is a member of a court of appeal or something, and you have a matter there, and the matter is a bad matter, for reason of sentiment or for reason of emotion, whatever, you go and upturn a thing that has become trite. In law, they say there are issues that are trite. What is it? What does that mean? Trite issues are issues that are settled over years. You cannot change them. It's just like you know that, you and I know that there is always a tomorrow. You can't change it. Tomorrow will come. So that's one. The second one is to tell Nigerians that our governor is a business of infracting the rule of law, and that we do not know the end result of it, except that the dangerous aspect of it may be that people will resort to self-help. If I know that this is my right, this one belongs to me, and for whatever reason you think you have this jackboot mentality, you say no, I will find another means to get my phone. So please, and please, and please again, the era of strong man's morality, I have immunity, I do not have immunity, and all that, they are all gone. The law has taken the place. There's no way a high court can sit in judgment over a superior court of appeal. There's no way the high court will sit in appeal on a matter that has been decided by the federal high court. It is not done. But we are seeing that every day, every now and then. Don't be surprised. We hear that there is a matter in Supreme Court. Don't be surprised that Supreme Court might come out with him, and then a judge is already waiting to tell you how the Supreme Court said this. And then profound people you think that are profound lawyers in this country will come and begin to dance naked. Because, of course, you have opened the floodgate to siphon rivers funds. But they begin to speak from their legs, not even from their hearts. So we have seen these scenarios going on in this state, and as a party, we have felt that we should sternly add our voice to the issues. Thank you very much for having us. We are disposed to questions. Yes.
Chairman and the rest, good afternoon. My name is Daniel Abia, and I write for online newspapers. If some of us, including myself, I am, let me personalize it, very confused about what's going on in the States as a result of what you just said now. I cannot remember the dates, but I know that I was there live at 1 o'clock on a Sunday. And I also know that the National Legal Advisor of APC was there that day. Now, if what happened at 1 o'clock that day is not qualified to be described as a defection or reception of those 27 lawmakers, then if it cross the divide, is it right for the other anti-party? So should we describe it as anti-party? That those 27 lawmakers actually party in their party, if this cannot qualify to be described as a defection.
There was no intention to host a reception for something that we are not holding. I said to you here that we were inaugurated at the party secretariat in Abuja, and that we needed to now come to Port Harcourt to show ourselves to the party. And it's the reason why we said, look, for Doubting Thomases, let us invite some of our leaders from Abuja to come and also speak to our people, to assure them that something had happened. Come on, you're aware that even up till as I speak, some people are saying that they are the party that. For two reasons again. The National Legal Advisor came down himself and told the crowd, the APC family, that we have been elected. I mean, we have been appointed to superintend over the affairs of the party. The same thing that the national chairman did. It's never done that the national chairman will bring 16 other members, senior members of the National Working Committee, to go to a state to inaugurate a state executive council. It's never done. But it's all happened in River State. The reason was, look, we need to show you your leaders. And I said to you here when we talk, I said, we did not invite those gentlemen as assembly. We invited them as individuals. Recall, they came in their different vehicles. So if anybody says about PDP and the defection and anti-party, it is the person's cup of tea. But it must be noted that in River State, we have closed the chapter of not belonging to a political party that I belong to, then we are enemies. We have closed that chapter. We are friends. The fact that you are a member of Party A and I'm a member of Party C should not divide, or affect our relationship. I'm sure you have been following our events. In other words, we have collapsed to what we call renewed hope family. So renewed hope family, you have people who are non-aligned, who are not even members of the political party. That's what I mean by non-aligned. You have passers-by who support the project of the president and who believe that there is hope at the end of the tunnel. So when all of us meet, we don't even talk about party. Check most events that we have had in these states. I'll be invited. And I, not only being invited, I'm made to speak. My other colleague from PDP is also made to speak. And others who are not unaligned are invited to speak. That is the spirit we have in River State. Not those spirit of anger, bickerings and all that. No. I don't know whether I've taken all your questions. Yes?
Okay, my name is Siminalayi So this issue of defection, why is it that you're the one always echoing to people saying that they didn't defect? Why is it not their own problem if they actually do not defect? They should be the ones always calling press and echoing it.
Yes, I should harp on it because people are in the business of selling the wrong trajectory. What people sell to the public is not correct. That's the point we are making. And that's why we are always at every point that we have opportunity to state the matter the way it is. And we have not been contradicted by anybody. I have said many times and again, and we are saying again today, that we made deliberate attempts. I was intentional. I felt that winning 27 members of assembly will help my cause as a party, as party chairman. I felt so. And so I was intentional about it, visited with them. Some of you will also recall that there was a day we were at the assembly quarters when we were told that the governor was at the verge of destroying the place. We said, no. This is River State government money. You have succeeded in destroying the complex. We won't allow you to destroy this one because this one was just built how many years ago? For some of you who are listening, you saw me there and I spoke to you, I spoke to the press. So it is my duty, it is our duty to tell the world who our party member is. Even when they come from the other side, say they are, I would even doubt. I will query it. I will ask the world chairman, is this man a member of our party or not? So it is our responsibility to tell the world that XYZ person or XYZ person who are claiming to be party members are not. In this case, the 27 assembly members never defected to APC in the manner that we know about. Yes.
On this briefing, 3 issues are being discussed.
Great.
One is the arrogance of the governor not to obey the rule of law. The second is that the assembly members are not members of the party. And the third is your party is going on e-registration. If I get it correctly.
Yes, go ahead.
Now, I want to get what the governor has done that he has not obeyed the rule.
From the layman's viewpoint, that you will know. I asked the question, does it suffice that a high court sits in judgment, or in other words, an appeal over a judgment delivered by the Court of Appeal? Is it done anywhere?
No.
Now, the one in issue, you all know the issues as we speak. A judgment that says this man is a legitimate assembly speaker. His other 26 colleagues are members. Represent your budget to them. And he goes behind and does something different. This is not an infraction that you are dealing with. Out of 27, you have gone left 27 and you are dealing with 3 assembly members. Now, they were scolding at Omotosho judgment. But recently, the same Omotosho gave them judgment on the issue of tenure elongation for chairman. They were celebrating it. It is the issue of pick and choose. But Omotosho gave all this other judgment 15 reliefs. And they castigated the man, they defamed him. But the same man, now Omotosho, the same judge, had given a judgment that they are all dancing around the streets. Now, they have also agreed. They have agreed, the governor and his people. And I'm sure, I'm telling you clearly that they all know, they know. Do I need to call names? But there are senior lawyers in this country that you expect to be profound and sound. But it looks like funds and their pockets are taking over what they should have been doing. This last one that they went all of us, I was in Supreme Court. The Supreme Court in that matter gave a decision because they had applied for the withdrawal of a particular section or segment of their matter. And if that withdrawal was strong enough to affect our case, if you know our lawyer very well, J.B. Daoud, he's one of the best in this country. He would have opposed it, but they asked him, he said no, that he not oppose it, but that the matter should be dismissed. And the judge, the justices in their wisdom, conferred and also decided that the matter should be dismissed. Because their lawyer was asking, because if you dismiss the matter, you can't bring that matter back to the court. But their lawyer was asking for that it to be struck out. The judge said, no, this matter is dismissed, and gave a cost of 2 million naira apiece. Now, that's why I made this elementary discipline. I said, if you and I are in combat, we are confronting ourselves, and we decide to go to see a sovereign, in the essence of civil society. Okay? And in that meeting, a judgment is given, and you feel undone you feel that that judgment was not fair to you, and you appeal on the topic in issue to a higher authority, and just before the matter is heard, you also go and withdraw that appeal that you made. So you mean that you're withdrawing a matter at that level had also removed the decision that I was made earlier on? The answer is no. Immediately the Supreme Court made that decision. The next day, the governor presented a list, I'm told, of State Service, House of Assembly Service Commission. Before the three members that are in contention. I don't want to go into the other mathematics of how can 4 persons in a 32 assembly, 3 persons form a quorum. We don't want to go into that. Nigerians and the law will decide if it is proper. The next day after the Supreme Court made that decision, the governor went back to tell you how posterious and how he likes infracting the rule of law. He went back, submitted list, 3 persons, and were told that they were screened, and the next day were told that they were sworn in and all that. So these are major infractions. They are major infractions. And we're saying that one of the consequences of disobedience to the rule of law, particularly for those who want to defend the law, is that you are also equipping the other person who has no powers, just the same way you have, to adopt what they call self-help. And when self-help is introduced in a system, you and I know that there is an invitation to anarchy. Thank you. Finally, essentially governmental, call it parastatal, call it agency, or call it government itself. You cannot run a budget, a state or your organization without annual budgets. But the governor is doing so. Is it not a major infraction? It's a major infraction. That 2024 budget was presented to 3 members. In fact, the Court of Appeal called them forum. You call them forum. And the Court of Appeal frowned at it even deeper and said that this is a joke taken too far. That's a joke taken too far. And for these decisions that the Court of Appeal took, you appealed against it. Or you appealed against them to the Supreme Court. And at the verge of hearing the matter at the Supreme Court, you go there to withdraw and say that it has become academic. What is academic, please, on the matter? When the decision, assuming it is the court of first instance that nothing has happened, in course of this, you can say, well, my lord, this matter has become academic and no longer interested. But not when judgments have been entered on a matter, and then you come back to say that it's academic or it's no longer in use because of the fusion of time. So please, I'm sure that we have made cases of infractions, and that we are not sure, that we don't even know what the outcome, but we pray that whatever the outcome of the judgment of the Supreme Court, the highest court in the land, we pray that both parties will heed to whatever decision that come out of it. Thank you.